Take me back to where my lady at. I need to feel what's real. She do fuck me like no other, but I think she scheming still. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. That season I skip right to summer. I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. Take me back to where my baby at. I deeply crush no pills. She do fuck me like no other, so I keep my eyes on him. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. More trees, I don't trip. Right to summer, I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. I'm from somewhere where you turn your back in front, you might get killed. I'm from nothing, grandpa worked for crumbs and still brought us the meals. I was running through the jungle, hustling, burning rubber wheels. Smoking skunk and smell like doja, something funky in my whip. Who you think gon' believe in me? Who you think really seeing me? Who you think that I need to be, huh? Who you think gonna feed the weak? Who you think gonna lead them free? Who you think just don't get a key, huh? Murder rap, none of y'all heard of that. I take the beat to serve it back. Fuck fame niggas tryna earn the bag. Fuck fame niggas tryna swerve and crash. I bust mainly to get my nerves attacked. I bust HT so you can learn the craft. Words you said, I got a verse for that. Words you mad, I got a nurse for that. You tryna tell me I should be another nigga who is lost, but I think I done found the key. I'm on key. Ask a question, don't be mad if I don't speak. Let me breathe. Give your word, you give me that, then I'm on C. Take me back to where my lady at. I need to feel what's real. She do for me like no other, but I think she's scheming still. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. That season I skip right to summer. I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. Take me back to where my lady at. I deeply crush no bills. She do for me like no other, so I keep my eyes on him. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. More trees I don't skip. Right to summer, I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. Yeah. Yeah. Take me back. Yeah. Take me back to where my lady at. I need to feel what's real. She do fuck me like no other, but I think she's scheming still. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. That season I skip right to summer. I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. Take me back to where my baby at. I deeply crush no pills. She do fuck me like no other, so I keep my eyes on him. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. More trees, I don't trip. Right to summer, I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. I'm from somewhere where you turn your back in front, you might get killed. I'm from nothing, grandpa worked for crumbs and still brought us the meals. I was running through the jungle, hustling, burning rubber wheels. Smoking skunk and smell like doja, something funky in my whip. Who you think gon' believe in me? Who you think really seeing me? Who you think that I need to be, huh? Who you think gonna feed the weak? Who you think gonna lead them free? Who you think just don't get a key, huh? Murder rap, none of y'all heard of that. I take the beat to serve it back. Fuck fame niggas tryna earn the bag. Fuck fame niggas tryna swerve and crash. I bust mainly to get my nerves attacked. I bust HT so you can learn the craft. Words you said, I got a verse for that. Words you mad, I got a nurse for that. You tryna tell me I should be another nigga who is lost, but I think I done found the key. I'm on key. Ask a question, don't be mad if I don't speak. Let me breathe. Give your word, you give me that, then I'm on C. Take me back to where my lady at. I need to feel what's real. She do for me like no other, but I think she's scheming still. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. That season I skip right to summer. I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years. Take me back to where my lady at. I deeply crush no bills. She do for me like no other, so I keep my eyes on him. I'm no buster, I won't fall for nothing. More trees I don't skip. Right to summer, I'm the hottest, youngin' buzzing my like years.
Hey, what's going on?
I hate that you're not in this camera with me. I hate that you're not like over here. We gonna work on getting some things going. We got some different things going here at Dash Radio. We're in a different studio. Shout out to the new studio.
Yep.
What's the name of the new studio again?
Vibration frequency.
Vibration Frequency.
Yep.
I love them over here. I love this studio, and I'm very happy to be here. I want to continuously give Vibration Frequency their shout outs because the studio is amazing. They got me getting filmed. Can't nobody see my stomach or nothing on this shit. I'm loving this setup. I'm loving this set. My stomach is actually on the flatter side because I will soon be in Cancun. So I took decided to get in this gym a little bit and work on these abs so I can have some abs for Cancun. I've been getting up, hitting the gym every morning. I haven't been eating like I should. But I'm very spoiled when it comes to working out and eating right because I've had liposuction several times and I know that my stomach will never be flat again. If I ever feel like it's getting big, then I can simply eat right and work out, and within a matter of weeks, my shit is right back washboard flat. That's the thing about plastic surgery. If you keep up with it and do what you're supposed to do, when the fat cells are manipulated, it prevents fat growing back in that area so aggressively. We ain't talking about that today. We gonna have a whole plastic surgery show. I'm gonna have my friend Naeem on the show who hates plastic surgery. We're gonna go back and forth. But I did want to, let y'all know that I have been working out. I will be in Cancun at the Steve Harvey Sand and Soul Festival next weekend, turning all the way up.
Okay.
I got a couple of swimming suits that got sleeves in it because my arms are fat by nature. It's hereditary in my family. My grandma had these big old arms, and so we all have them. I call them the Grandma Maddie arms. I've had my arms lipo twice.
It's diabetes.
It ain't diabetes.
It is it's
hereditary.
just eating right. It's not hereditary.
I don't care how much I eat, my arms is gonna be fat as I get
eat
older.
right then, and they won't be fat.
First of all, I need you to speak when spoken to. Nobody asked your ass. You over there weighing 83 pounds and shit, looking like you got that H1N1 disease.
But you gotta eat
shit.
right though, too.
I'm doing better. I'm doing better. I've been working out though. I tried to do this ab challenge. It wasn't successful. Oh God. You need to check my mic. Am I good? It wasn't successful, the ab challenge. I think I'm good. The ab challenge, see the thing about a challenge is they have these 30-day challenges and they start you off, you do like 5 sit-ups on the first day. Mm-hmm. And before you know it, they got you doing 7,646 sit-ups in one fucking day. So like nobody can do all of these sit-ups. So I always quit right in the middle. So I think I got up to like 25. And then you get a rest day, but I took like a week off. So this 30-day ab challenge, I've been doing this shit for 6 months, and I'm only at 30 sit-ups. But as I said, my ab definition is starting to come in because I'm talking about killing them in the coon this weekend. Coon, I mean Cancun. Not the other word coon, but we're going to get into the other word coon in a little bit. So, I'm excited about this trip to Cancun. If you all have got your reservations for the Moon Palace Hotel, I want you to be sure to check in to all the events going on at the Steve Harvey Sand and Soul Festival this weekend. I'm honored to be invited. I spoke about it a couple of months ago because it was originally supposed to be in Punta Cana. But then everybody started dying in the hotels for no reason. And since everybody just feel like they don't want to die and shit, they had to move it. So they moved it to Cancun. And it's so many different things going on. So if you happen to be going out there, I want you to be sure you come and check me out on Saturday the 13th. That's the big comedy show in the theater. It's going to be Arnez J, Tony Roberts, me, and another comedian. His name, I can't think of his name right now, but I'll have him come back from break. But it's going to be amazing. They're going to have a lot of performers there. I can't wait to see Anthony Hamilton. It's going to be pool parties, phone parties. So y'all are going to see these abs. these abs are gonna come out. Now y'all gonna see ass too. My ass is the kind of ass that I can't put it away. It's just it's always out. So it, you know, no matter where I go, no matter what I wear, I can have on a big ass choir robe and my ass be sticking out from back behind. So this ass is gonna be out there. But I'm gonna be in Cancun turning the fuck up. So I want you guys to definitely, if you're going to be there, if you know someone who's going to be there, tell them to come to the comedy show on Saturday night. It's going to be amazing. And I got some more projects that I'm working on that we'll talk about later on in the show. I'm happy to be here. The name of the show today is Court Wins. I've recently been in court, in and out of court, since June, and I've been winning. I've been kicking ass in court, baby. Let me tell you something. The worst type of person to fuck with is a person with book smarts and street smarts. You don't want to run into that bitch that is street smart and book smart. I'm talking about book smart to the point where she can learn an entire legal system in 2 weeks. That's me. I'm that bitch. I'm that bitch that I can know nothing. I was a criminal justice major in college. The brief time that I spent in college, I wanted to be a lawyer. I knew a lot about the system when I lived in Missouri because I have a passion for law. That's where my passion for social injustices come, because we're living in a society where if you're black, you know, the legal system is never going to be on your side. You know how they have the little scale and, you know, equal, you know, justice equal. That's some bullshit if you black. So I've always had an interest in this field. I can remember doing credit repair at one point in my life where I was helping people repair their credits. I can remember helping, you know, a lot of people with the child support system. And the reason why I was so good at helping people because I knew both sides of the child support system, because as a mother who's had baby daddies in the system, I knew it from that end, and I also knew it from the other end, the father's end, from being with men that I tried to help in the system and trying to help get the fathers out of the system. I always say that one of the worst mistakes I've ever made in my life was getting the fathers of my children involved in the court system, because one thing that I learned as I got older is the system is already aimed to destroy the black man. And when you cooperate with the child support system, you're assisting in destroying the black man because you mad. You mad about a relationship that you indulged in. Obviously, you went and had sex raw with this man. So I don't care if it was somebody that you was just messing with, or a husband or a boyfriend. You had raw sex and got a baby. So just being that you did that, I feel like it should be certain things that you should do. The system is only designed to destroy the black man. So why help a system? I didn't know that when I was 19. I had my first child when I was 19. I didn't know that. All I knew was I can get some food stamps and a welfare check, free money, if I get them all this nigga information. And that's what I did. I didn't know that the details of how bad it was. And then when I got mad, it ain't nothing worse than a mad bitch with the system. Because a mad bitch can use the system, and in her mind, she's getting her baby daddy. I'm going to get this nigga. I'm going to get this nigga. But at the end of the day, you're not getting anyone but yourself and your kids, because you're going to create a barrier between the father of your children and the kids. And at the end of the day, it should really only be about your kids. You got certain situations, I will admit, some niggas need to be on child support and getting child support. Some niggas, they live to get over. And one thing that you want to remember is that ain't no child support going to make a man take care of his child. Ain't no child support going to make a man be a father for his child. So I never learned these things until later in life. So as I say, that was one of my biggest regrets was not being conscious enough about this issue. Now back to the whole court system. I've always had a passion and a love and an interest for the court system, always. And so with me having the street smarts that I have, combined with my natural curiosity and desire to learn a court system and being book smart, once you combine those, you basically have the most dangerous type of person to fuck with. Of course, most people who don't know me don't know these things about me, so people will fuck with me anyway and have to learn the hard way. Nevertheless, I've been kicking ass in court, and I'm proud of my wins. I got a couple of more wins to go, and I'm always excited to see black people get justice, period, especially when it's myself. So I'm excited about a lot of the things that I've been going through personally that I'm going to definitely go into details in at a later date. Right now, the court win that I want to discuss is Amber Geiger. Geiger, I don't know how you say this bitch last name. I don't care enough about her to learn the correct pronunciation. Phil tried to help me with it. It's probably wrong, but we're just gonna call this bitch Amber. If you're not familiar with who she is, she's a former Dallas police officer that walked into the apartment of an unarmed black man and murdered him in cold blood. This happened in early September 2018, so it's a little over a year ago. And earlier this week, Amber was convicted of murder. I was ecstatic. I was happy when they charged her. Let me tell y'all something about police officers, which Amber is a police officer, but I want to establish something about police officers before we go into the details of this story to where we can determine if we have really gotten a win, which we have gotten small victories in this case because she was charged and she was convicted, but she has yet to be sentenced. So let me tell you something about the police officers. Police officers have a union, a club, a togetherness that they protect each other. Kind of like the Ku Klux Klan, because a lot of Klan members, were police officers. But a lot of times you often will see officer-involved shootings and killings where police officers are killed. Police officers are killed. Police officers murder people. And one thing that you will see is these murders, these officers rarely being charged for these murders. One statistic I want to point out is that there are far more unarmed minorities killed by police than there are officers killed in the line of duty. I don't want to say killed by unarmed because obviously if the officer was killed, the motherfucker was armed. I'm sure it's cases where some of the officers were beat to death, but typically when an officer is killed, it is by someone who was armed. So, keep in mind that, these officers, they put their life on the line and, all of that. And I don't have, I'm not going to say that I don't have anything against police officers because I do. My uncle was a police officer, Uncle Jacob Morehouse, and Jacob Morehouse was a police officer for the St. Louis City Police Department, where he started young and he ended up retiring. He was a war veteran and police officer, and he was well respected on the police force. I'm not sure how many years that he did. I know there was well over 20, but he retired from the police force. And a lot of the things that I know that I'm getting ready to discuss is things that I know because of his experiences. Things that I know. He never killed anyone, but my whole point is that officers are often given a pass. When an officer is driving down the highway and he's speeding, the speed limit is 65 and he's going 100, and they pull him over, they don't get a ticket. They wave their badge and they tell them, okay, keep going. Officers don't get tickets. There are certain perks to being an officer. They don't get tickets. They have a respect that other officers have no matter where you are. You could be traveling to another city. You could live in LA and travel to Dallas, and you get pulled over in Dallas. You show your badge. They usually gonna let you pass, but they may put in your information just to verify that you are an active officer on their force. Then they let you go. You don't get tickets. My uncle, I'm never gonna come on nowhere and bash any of my people, but my uncle had fidelity issues. He had a child outside of his marriage, and the woman was threatening to do something about it. Tell his wife or cause problems with him, and it's alleged. I'm gonna put that in there by my goddamn uncle. It's alleged that he made some sort of threats to her, letting her know, hey, bitch, you come near my wife and it's over for you. Or something to those lines. And the baby mama, the side bitch, she went to internal affairs and attempted to get something done, but she couldn't get nothing done, because officers look out for officers. This is a perk of being an officer. You get to do things and not suffer consequences for them. This is a perk, okay? You rarely see officers be charged in a lot of these officer-related shootings where they kill unarmed minorities, because they have a whole system backing them. When they killed Mike Brown, they let his body lay in the street for hours while they put together a lie, and they tamper with evidence, and they went and they got some more police so they can investigate something that happened. It was just crazy. And they got away with murder because they got officers bagging them. They have an entire conspiracy against Mike Brown and his family, and that fought for Darren Wilson, the police officer that murdered Mike Brown. They made sure he got off. They made sure he was never charged. They had Darren Wilson go to the grand jury, who were supposed to decide whether he would be charged or not. And they allowed him to speak to the grand jury and tell them about how he feared for his life and how this murder of Mike Brown was in self-defense. And they, in turn, did not charge him, chose to not charge him for Mike Brown's murder. He was never charged. My father, Isidore Barton, registered voter, few months prior to the murder of Mike Brown, served on the grand jury. He served on the grand jury where they gathered evidence to determine whether or not they would be charging these people for various horrendous crimes. My father's experience was that never at one point did they allow someone who could potentially be charged to come in and plead their case. My point is that when you are an officer, you get these perks. You get to get away with murder. Which brings me to Amber, the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed an unarmed black man in his home, citing that she thought it was her apartment. Yeah, that's what she said. She thought she was walking into her apartment, and when she got in and she saw someone in her apartment, she was scared and she shot him and killed him. I'm very happy that unlike Darren Wilson and like all of these officers who do whatever they want to do without consequences, that they charged Amber. I'm happy that they charged her. Y'all know this little union, this little club that I'm talking about, that with these police where they get to get off. Can you imagine the meetings that they had after this bitch killed him? They was probably like, Amber, nah shit. I know we get away with killing niggas, but damn, bitch, you can't go into the man's house and expect us to still get you off. Excuse me. I know that Amber thought that she was going to get away with it. I know they was all like, this bitch is fucking it up for me. I just killed a nigga last week. They about to be trying to lock all of us up. This bitch done went into this man's house trying to fucking, trying to claim that she was scared. Can you believe, Amber? What y'all gonna do? Well, we gotta help her. You know the rules. We get each other off. We gotta do something. They like, well, I don't know if we can help this bitch. Therefore, Amber was charged with murder. And I was so happy, but I had doubts. Why did I have doubts? Because I have doubts in the legal system in America, point blank, period. Amber was tried. Amber, I'm so glad her name is Amber.
Amber Alert?
I'm so glad that her name is Amber. A typical lily white girl who's used to getting away with murder. All these fucking Ambers in the damn world. Amber.
They got Amber Alert for iPhone.
Yeah. Amber was alerted to this goddamn jail cell, goddamn it, when they came back with that verdict. So Amber goes on trial. And this is something that helped me, that is helping me in my my legal issues. Amber made terrible mistakes in this situation. Ultimately, murdering this man was a mistake. But one of the things, one of the mistakes that she made was she sent text messages. We're about to take a break. But we're going to go into how important these text messages are. We're going to go into, I want to break down a lot of the aspects of this court win. And I want to tell you how this is actually helping me in some personal issues that I'm going through. And I just want to tell people that you got to be conscious about what you're doing when you're dealing with a book smart and the street smart motherfuckers. And we're going to be right back. I want to just say this before we come back. We're going to talk about the fact that it was a black judge and a white prosecutor that was, assigned to this case that convicted Amber. We're going to be right back. We're going to take a quick break. You're listening to Carmen Barton, Can You Hear Me Now? Marcus King presents Dash Comedy. Ain't much comedy today, but we dashing through this shit. You going to jail, Amber? Jail, bitch.
Don't take me for a play or play the wrong game. And I'm like Charles Barkley, me Charles Narkley. I'm good to Parkers. You started this, you limited yourself with planes. I'm on the rocket ship, Madonna, let me taste the fame. To apocalypse, I guess I gotta catch the blame. I wonder who could catch the rain. I'm positive it's me. All forms of beat and beat. You want some trouble, here it comes, just hope you ready to bleed. I hope my woman don't fuck up because I'm ready to leave. I hope my woman don't fuck up because I see what the plot is. Everybody clutching me, you ain't the only one with a chopstick. I hope that y'all can see what the plot is. Games have changed, the industry can suck me right where the cock is. I'm so Milonakis, the show don't make sense, but at the end, all you bitches still watching. I guess I gotta prove I'm a prophet. Go change the game, you wanted this, then motherfucker, you got it. Hate just gon' hate, I can't control fate. Don't take me for a play or play the wrong game. And I'm like Charles Barkley, me Charles Narkley. I'm good to Parkers. You started this, you limited yourself with plays. I'm on the rocket ship, Madonna, let me taste the fame. To apocalypse, I guess I gotta catch the blame. I wonder who could catch the rain. I'm positive it's Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Shit right here.
yeah, yeah. You gon' respect my grind, nigga. Waiting here, respect my time. It was written with a pencil, gon' respect my lines. I get by with my utensils, cause I left that lie that said I can never get it just to trick they minds. I get high, flying with the birds where the eagles be. No, I ain't from Philly, but I'm about to get the meanest cheese. Shout out Uncle Bill, he taught us more than we can even see. Shout out Uncle Bill, he loaned us money when we needed peace. I won't need a piece cause niggas is hoes. If you gon' shoot me, then bitch shoot me, I've been ready to go. The world so stupid, shoot up movies and they letting them go. But I play music in my hoopty, police ready for smoke. I don't know what they really want from a nigga. I've been low just to figure how to get up and go. They want more, but they don't consult with a nigga cause they froze in the picture where I'm letting it blow. Trying to see who'll be there for me when I need him. Jesus lift me from these evil demons near me. I think reapers creeping on me. Trying to see who'll be there for me when I need him. Jesus lift me from these evil demons near me. I think reapers creeping on me. How about I show you how local my niggas' threats is? How about I fold you like clothes and don't even press shit? How about I mold you so bold I have you impressed with my manners? Look like this little animal got accepted. You got accepted? Well, yeah, I guess shit. Now that I can vibe with nobody, I feel connected. Now that I can style with no stylist, I feel like dressing. Don't be out here tossing no salad, I'm too fluorescent. Don't be out here tossing no salad, but spit the best. Hold up, but spit the best. Hold up, but spit the best shit. Master to the chains, dog got me here looking necklace. Pastor looking sane, tried to get him smoking that piff. That big range would explain why you in debt, bitch. That big plane is the reason I ain't land. Hold up, well I ain't land. Hold up, well I ain't land quick. Cause I'm too fly, boss, working till I'm damn rich. Knock me off the high horse, I'ma still land Chris. Knock me off my God, I'ma still be on my plan shit. Knock me off my God, I just started and I ran shit. I just started and I ran shit, ran shit. I just started and I ran shit, ran shit. I just started and I ran shit, ran shit. I just ran shit.
Ran shit by, get your hands up high. I'm the man, bitch. Tell your other man, kick rise, put your lie. Tryna get the block, I'ma get the knots. Speak a side, think you really hot. I am in the shots. Ran shit by, that's why hands get high. I'm the man, bitch. Tell your other man, kick rise, put your lie. Tryna get a block, I'ma get the knots. Speak a side, think you really hot. I am in the shots. Ran shit by, get your hands up high. I'm the man, bitch. Tell your other man, kick rise, put your lie. Tryna get the block, I'ma get the knots. Speak a side, think you really hot. I am in the shots.
Welcome back to Carmen Barton. Can you hear me now? Coming to you live from Inglewood, California. As we continue to discuss court wins, we are ecstatic in the studio. We're so excited about the recent conviction of Amber Geiger, 31-year-old former Dallas police officer who shot and killed 26-year-old Botham Jean. I don't know if that's how you pronounce his name. I hate when people pronounce my name wrong, and I find it very disrespectful, and I should have done the research to find out how to pronounce this man's name. No disrespect intended at all. But, you know, we're talking about this today because this is a win for us, because very rarely do we get justice, and we are getting justice in this case. We began to get justice for him immediately after the police officer was fired, arrested, and charged. And now our justice has escalated as we have gotten a conviction. When I say we, I'm talking about the people, and I'm a representation of the people. Currently going through a few of my own legal battles. I'm always apprehensive because the court is not fair. It's not fair. It's not just, especially when you black. Luckily, I'm going up against some other black people because if it wasn't that way, then I probably wouldn't even fight because it's an uphill battle. I just recently watched a clip from when they read the verdict, and just watching the family of the victim, it just really brings tears to your eyes because it's nothing worse than not having justice. You know, people out here just killing people and not having to pay the consequences for it. It's just extremely frustrating. I know it's frustrating to me, and I have not lost a loved one to as a victim of a police officer involved shooting. I have lost loved ones though, and I think that one of the only things that get me through the death of my brother is that I know that his death was an accident. I know that no one intentionally set out to kill him. And as angry as I am that he's not here with me, I'm still angry, still confused. I still cry. They say losing a sibling is worse than losing a parent because ultimately you expect to outlive your parents. But when you lose a sibling that you grew up with, it's typically more of a hit because you don't expect your siblings to go. You know, you expect to grow up with them and grow old with them, and when they die. And I believe that it's horrible. It's a horrible feeling. And I'm just grateful to God that I don't have to, on top of the grief, add the torment from knowing that your loved one has been murdered by someone that didn't deserve to die. This man was 26 years old. Don't let me get emotional up in Inglewood. 26 years old, you shot him twice. Bitch, what? As we move on to the facts of the case, I want to just talk about how they were able to get this conviction. I listened to the closing argument from the prosecutor. It was so good watching this prosecutor prosecute this white bitch. It was so good. It was so amazing to see this prosecutor have the same enthusiasm that prosecutors have when they throw the book at us. That bitch might as well have been black, the way they were talking about her. As I said, it was also a black judge, and people are gonna be like, this ain't about race. Yes, the fuck it is about race. It's about race. It's about race. Because if that man was white, he would be alive. If he was white. And too many times when you murder black men or black people, it's pushed under the rug. So I'm extremely happy that this man, this woman who murdered this man, this white woman, Amber, who murdered this man, not only was she convicted, not only was she fired, charged, she was also convicted. I know I sound racist. I be sounding racist, and I promise you I'm not racist. It's just that I'm so passionate about injustices against black men because I'm raising black men. I have 2.5 sons, and my son is 24, which is close to the age of the victim in this case. And when I see these deaths, I see my son. I was recently engaged. I have a fiance who is a black man, and I just worry about him all the time because of his size and his build. It's so many people that's gonna say that, oh, I was afraid of him. I was scared, and I be scared. I live in Inglewood. I live not too far from the studio that we in right now. I live off Crenshaw. I have an amazing, beautiful home, but it's not the best neighborhood. And my dude be walking, and I'm like, cause he from New York, so he a street train type of dude, and I be worried. That's worry that you constantly have. I remember when they murdered Mike Brown. He was the same age as my son, around the same age. I think my son might have had a year or two on him, but my son that walked the same street that this man was murdered on, Mike Brown, was a street that my sons have walked up and down countless times in a neighborhood that I raised my children in for 2 decades. So I'm passionate about it. I know I sound racist, like I hate white people. I don't hate white people, but I'm very passionate about these injustices. And today, even though I sound mad, I'm happy. There's no reason for you to kill this man and shoot this man, and he's talking about you thought it was your apartment. When the news first came out, I thought they was fucking. I'm like, this bitch lied. This bitch is no. She trying to act like she thought that was her apartment. She was fucking him, and he left. I'm the type of person. I'm a people watcher. So when I sit and look at people, I imagine a whole scenario about the people. I was in court yesterday, and I was looking at some of the families, and I was like, I see what happened with them. This bitch had that baby and gained all their goddamn weight, and he didn't want her ass no more, and now they in court fighting. That's what I do. I have a huge imagination. So I paint pictures in my mind and think of stories and think of how I could place different stuff together. So when I first heard about this story, in my mind, I'm like, this gonna come out that they was fucking, and she knew who he was, and she went in there and killed him because she seen a black girl with a fat ass leave his apartment, and she went in there and murdered this man. It's gonna come out. I still think that she knew who he was. You're not getting ready to tell me that you didn't know this man. You're not getting ready to tell me that you thought that was your apartment. I've been in apartments where somebody had the same furniture I got. I like Z Gallery. Everybody in there got some Z Gallery furniture. If I walked into a home and they had my same furniture, I would know that was not my house. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, get the fuck out of here. And I was listening to some details about the situation, and I heard that, his lock was different than her lock, and it was different thing. That bitch knew that wasn't her problem. That's a lie. I don't believe that. And my whole thing is that, why you got to kill this man? You couldn't have shot him in his goddamn kneecaps or nothing, which that would have been fucked up too for him to be limping the rest of his damn life. But you done murdered this man, shot him twice in cold blood, talking about you was scared. Bitch, you ain't scared. You about to be scared, because I want them to put her in a motherfucking cell and a jail with nothing but niggas. Nothing but black dykes. Fucking, let me stop.
Right,
let me stop. But I want this bitch to get tortured. She has not been sentenced yet. They're getting ready to sentence her. But as she gets ready to prepare for sentencing, one thing that everybody fears is that they give her a light sentence. They feel like it's not a court win. They say it ain't a win yet. Let's see how much time she get. I want to bring you guys back to I'm not sure if it was the Watts riots or the Rodney King riots. I believe that it was the Rodney King riots. I'm not sure which one it was. But in Los Angeles, there was a young girl, 12, 13, 14, maybe, I'm not sure how old she was. But she was murdered in a convenience store by the owner, a Chinese lady. Shot her.
Letitia Harlins.
Letitia Arlington.
Wow.
Harlings. Letitia Harlings. How old was Letitia? Do we know?
About 12.
Yeah, about 12 years old. Okay, Letitia Harlings. I should have had my facts together. I didn't have my facts together today. I'm glad I got this back up in here. Letitia Harlings was murdered in cold blood in the convenience store over some fucking orange juice. After she fell to the ground to her death, they found the money in her hand that she was about to pay for the orange juice because the owner of the bodega or the store, Asian bitch who shot her and killed her, claimed that she was trying to leave with some orange juice. First of all, God, don't. Latasha Harlington. Harlins. Okay. Latasha Harlins. She was 12 years old. Latasha Harlins. She was murdered by the owner of this store, and she had the money for the orange juice in her hand. Why you got to murder a child over some fucking orange juice is beyond me. But when we look into this, the thing about this case is that the Asian woman who murdered her, just like Tanya Harding, not Tanya Harding, where'd I get Tanya Harding? That was a goddamn ice skater. I don't know. Cameron, you done got me high today. Got in the car with me smelling like weed, and I'm just, why am I talking about the goddamn ice skater that killed, that tried to stab the bitch? I don't know where her name came from. That bitch must be somewhere watching my comedy or something. I done just spit her name out. Amber was the police. Just like Amber, it was, because they want to talk about how this is Amber's first offense. She never been in any trouble. Just like her, this Asian lady that killed Latasha Harlings, it was her first offense. She was charged, arrested, convicted. We was happy. We celebrated. We got a conviction. This Asian bitch done killed this little black girl. This bitch is going to jail. Cameron, are you aware of what happened during the sentencing?
No, I'm not.
What happened during the sentencing was this Asian lady was sentenced. I want to ask you, Cameron, let's talk about, because you don't know shit. These damn millennials don't know their fucking history.
Right.
This is some shit you should know. But I'm going to ask you this. She murdered the black girl in cold blood, shot her to her death, where she died in the store with the money for the orange juice in her hand that she claimed she was trying not to pay for. Whatever the situation was, she killed the little girl. How much time you think she got?
Well, I don't know.
20
years? 20 years?
20 years. She didn't get 20 years. Can you go a little lower? She didn't get that much time. Go a little lower.
15?
Not 15. Go a little lower.
10?
Not 10. We talking about murder. Go a little lower.
5 years.
Not 5.
3 years?
Not 3.
2 years?
Not 2.
1 year?
Not 1. They gave this bitch probation.
Wow.
Talking about this was her first offense. And, she had never done like this before. So we're going to sentence this bitch to probation. And let this bitch went home after the trial.
Wow.
What? Y'all don't understand how difficult it is for me to sit in this chair and tell this story without jumping up in rage. You want to know why? Because they don't care about us. They don't care about us. This woman murdered this little girl in cold blood. This little girl was not at all any threat to her or anyone else over some fucking orange juice and got probation. Oh, they had a fit. I remember seeing videos of how they knocked down a little metal detector at the court and they was clowning. But at the end of the day, that bitch went home. I believe that bitch still probably alive too. That bitch is probably still alive. They tried to get the judge, taken off of the little judge, the whatever. That didn't shit happen to none of them. Wow. But that's a perfect example about how they don't give a fuck about us. Okay? Now, I believe that it was a jury that convicted her, but it was the judge who sentenced her. So you just basically allowed this bitch to get away with murdering this little girl. I'm talking about, that's the type of system that we live in. That's the type of judicial system that we are dealing with in the United States of America. And that was before we had a racist bastard in office. So at this point, there's a huge fear that Amber may get a slap on the wrist. To avoid her from getting a slap on the wrist, prosecutors are coming for Amber's neck, because what they want to prove is that the reason why she killed him, because not only did she have a fear, not that she really had a fear, because he never was a threat to her life. He was unarmed. He was in his own goddamn crib. You know what I'm saying? Dick probably was halfway hard in his drawers or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You done walked in and just shocked this man. How is he a threat to you? They want to go all out to prove that this bitch was racist, because you don't have no fear of no man like that to where you gotta kill him. Why do y'all fear us, white people? I want y'all to tell us why you fear, or why y'all so afraid of us. You know, this is a man who's in the same complex as you. Why are you afraid of him? You wasn't afraid of him. You was a racist ass bitch. And what the prosecution is doing right now, which I commend them. I commend them for joining the fight for equal justice. They treating Amber like she black. Y'all know that it's men in jail right now on weed charges. It's men in jail right now for hustling weed. The weed in states that are legal. You know, they got these systems that trump up these charges for black men and have them doing all this time for little petty shit, little dumb shit. It's ridiculous. What the prosecution is doing right now, they're digging up all they can dig up on Amber to prove that this bitch is racist. They've dug up text messages. They didn't even have to dig hard, because these messages are messages that she sent days before she murdered this unarmed black man in his home. She in the text messages talking mad shit, referring to a dog. You know how the police, they get together, they do their little talk. It might have been a friend, I don't know who she was texting, but saying something, oh yeah, the dog is racist. Yeah, me too. I'm the same way. I only like y'all. This bitch is racist. You a racist honky. You know, they also found some text messages where she was poking fun at the king. Who is the king, Cameron? Let me see if you know who the king is.
Not Elvis.
Nigga, I will throw this goddamn Fiji water over there and hit you in your goddamn eye.
What the king?
Martin Luther King.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. Okay.
Making light of the holiday and the MLK parade, coming for the king.
Wow.
I don't give a fuck who come after. You know, I respect, LeBron James, because he's called the king, King James. I respect all these, young kings coming up. But the original king was the king by name, and that was Martin Luther King. And this bitch talking shit about the king.
In the messages?
Yeah, talking about, he dead now anyway. Why are we still celebrating?
What?
Yes!
Wow.
This bitch is racist. I want to know what jail she going to, because I want to taunt that bitch. I want to send that bitch. And I'm telling you right now, everybody who come across this bitch in jail, if y'all don't terrorize this hoe, just off GP, she ain't gonna be in solitary. She gonna be in jail long enough to have to be amongst other people. And the bitch ain't rich, clearly. So I want them to fuck with her ass every goddamn day. I want this bitch to be looking for her shoes, and y'all done took them. I want this bitch to get terrorized. I want y'all to shave that bitch head. Let me stop. I can't be still with this damn mic. But I'm just appalled. And like I said, at the same time, I'm very excited. This nigga said Elvis was the king. I'm
sorry.
Yeah, I'm ashamed of you right now. Let me call my other son up here and see if he can do it. Yeah, we gonna call him on the break, and I'm gonna say, Kaylin, who was the king, the original king? And I know he ain't gonna say Elvis.
Kings, like,
Nigga, but Elvis ain't one of them. Y'all, Elvis liked black pussy. He had his side bitch was black, and he was fucking with her, and he mistreated her. I don't like that motherfucker. I won't never listen to none of his goddamn music. Fuck Elvis.
Heard a lot of things, but not from Elvis, so I can't really,
You ain't heard that he had a side bitch that was black?
I've never heard that, actually.
Okay, well, he did, and he mistreated her. And let's do the research. And I don't like him. I sound so racist today. Oh, God. I want to apologize, but I just can't.
Too late.
I can't apologize. What the fuck am I going to apologize for feeling? When these motherfuckers start apologizing for the shit that they do, then I still ain't going to apologize. I'm going to stand on my shit. So we about to take another break. Our prayers continuously go out to the family of the victim. This is just a sad situation. This young man was 26 years old with his whole life ahead of him, and his life was taken short by a racist bitch who talked shit about Martin Luther King. And it's sad, and I pray that they give this bitch the maximum sentence and make an example out of her, because that's the only way that these cops are going to stop it. Amber felt as if she was invincible. She sees her partners and her colleagues constantly getting away with shit. She's watching and she's paying attention to what's happening across the nation with these murders of these unarmed black people, and she felt as if she was invincible, and she murdered this man for no reason. And I'm applauding the jury. I'm applauding the people in Texas that have charged her, and I'm glad that she was convicted. And right now I'm looking for a 99-year sentence. I want this bitch to grow old and die in jail. I don't want this bitch to see the light, because her victim can't see the light. So we'll be right back as we continue to talk about police brutality and court wins today on Carmen Barton. Can You Hear Me Now? You're listening to Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. We'll be right back.
Throw that to the bin. Recycling your life, your man friends want you back. Yeah, they lost, so they clap for a win. Yeah, clap for me, bitch. Happily. I don't need to grant it to show that I'm glad we here. I know. Look, you moving backwards again. Half your kin ain't even asked where you been. Half you did ain't even half of your rent. Got you working like a slave cause you black, you ain't shit. As far as I heard, though, blacks is really lit. As far as I heard, you actually really rich. Hold up. Wait, hold up. Now I ain't rich yet, but I'ma get there and get a real nice chick with some thick curves. She know the real life shit ain't gon' kill her. Go have a real nice sense of the real world. She know that even at the bottom we can get to the top. And she know even a good model end up giving the top. She don't want power boy George like a villainous cop. She just want all the noise going, but then I'ma pop and play on. Play on, nigga, yeah, nigga, yeah, nigga, play on, 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 play on. Standing tall, bitch, I'm bold. Porsche's ball, Amber Rose. I need God and some hoes. He know us, damn he cold. Antidote is savage with a little piece of average Joe. Of course I do speak Spanish, me no papi rapido. Hold up, you know we go show up. Keep mentioning the coke, so you know we go blow up soon. Boogie down bad, but it's so uptuned. Making niggas mad, they like, oh that's cool. Why don't you rap about this? Don't bump that, cause I know where I'm from and I know where I'm at. Other niggas want crumbs, I need a whole stack. How you tryna be a bum, but you still go give back? Hold up, hit the Hennessy, blow up, hit the C, nigga blow up, I already had the glow, so I'ma glow up, roll up, roll up, roll up.
tryna comprehend me? Why you tryna understand my love? I don't think you wanna tempt me. Why you think I really need my drugs? Take it and eat the flow. Wake up and see the snow. She waiting on me to blow. Waiting for me to go. Blame it on me, I know. She hating to see me close. Dealing what I'm having to do. Rob a couple, I'm a rubber bandit. Pop a couple just before I land it. I'm in trouble, I know I do damage.
Welcome back to Carmen Barton. Can you hear me now? I'm gonna try to bear with us. I know we got a couple of glitches that we have going on. We in a new studio. We working all these kinks out. You listen to the music of Camo's Peso. That's my son. He's very talented. He won't be talking anymore today because he mentioned Elvis Presley's name on my show as a king, and that we don't see him as a king over here. So his mic has been turned off. He won't be saying shit else for the rest of the day. But we're going to try to make sure that you hear his music a little better, so bear with us. I apologize for that. We're talking about court wins today. We're just closing out the subject of Amber, the 31-year-old police officer in Dallas that was recently convicted of murder. We're waiting for her to get sentenced, and we're hoping that she gets as much time as possible. I'm looking for 99 years personally, and we're going to keep y'all updated on what happens with that. One of the things that they're using to get her sentence high, and, because we don't want her to evade any type of punishment from these charges. We don't want her getting probation or getting 5 to 7 years and all little bullshit. So what the prosecution has done is they've dug up text messages. Now, let me tell you something about the way the world works. My grandmother used to always tell me, everything done in the dark will come to the light. Everything done in the dark shall and will come to the light. When you are racist and that is how you behave and you think that you doing everything undercover, it's going to come to the light. Like I said, I'm in my own court battles, and text messages played a heavy part in the wins that I've gotten and the situation that I'm in, being accused of something that that I didn't do. People never trip off how heavy text messages and private interactions play into when you in court. Always know that you're going to be recorded, and like I say, I'm a person with book smarts and street smarts. So, and the thing about me is that I've done a lot of dirt. I've been to jail. I ain't never been to jail overnight, but I done been to jail. I ain't been in jail in the last 15 years, but I've been to jail. And I know that when you think that you gotten away with something, people will dig shit up. And because I've been on both sides of committing things and doing things and saying things that I shouldn't be committing, doing, and saying, and a victim, it only makes me a better victim, which means it only makes me more equipped to be able to react and respond and retaliate against when people do these things to me. When you a racist person, that shit gonna come out. They dug through Amber's text messages. They looked at her social media. They seeing her for who she is, which is a racist. When you a liar, you're gonna get caught up. You're doing things that are going to come to the light. Everything that you do in the dark comes to the light. It's not difficult to prove that you're not racist, that you are racist when you do things subconsciously not thinking, oh, I may be in court for this. That's why I'm always very careful about what I text and about what I say and about what I do, because I know that things will come back and bite you in the ass. You know what I'm saying? So Amber wasn't thinking about that. You know, she never thought that she was going to be sitting somewhere in a court, in a jail, getting convicted, and maybe I shouldn't have said these things in text messages. You know, when people fuck with me, they never thought, well, maybe they remembering some shit that I said last year, or maybe they got text messages to prove this, or maybe I said this then. And one thing about a liar, it's so difficult for a liar to keep up with their lies. A liar's biggest mistake is that they cannot keep up with their lies. So you got some liars like me. I'm the type of bitch, I lie and I convince myself of the goddamn lie. You know what I'm saying? I know that I could pass a couple of polygraph tests from some lies that I done told, because I believe the lies so much. But when you're not used to dealing with a motherfucker like me who tracking you, when you're not used to being tracked, you lose track of the lies. Damn, I said this on this day, and now I'm saying this. I'm going to prove this. That's how they catching her up. You know what I'm saying? When I say court, I'm an advocate, you know, for suing a motherfucker. I believe if a motherfucker has wronged you, you should sue them. I'm going through this situation with my cousin in Denver. My cousin in Denver has recently had some issues with this gym that she went to. She took her child to the gym in Phoenix, Arizona. Her child is 10 months old, a 10-month-old baby. She has two children. She has a 3-year-old and a 10-month-old. The name of the gym is Mountainside Fitness. Mountainside Fitness is the largest locally owned health club chain in Arizona. It has 18 locations in the valley in Arizona. Mountainside Fitness is where my cousin went to the gym and dropped her children off at the child care facility in the gym. About 30 minutes into her workout, she gets a phone call from the child care. They let her know the baby, JoJo is the baby's name. We just want to let you know that the baby fell, you know, and we just wanted to let you know. So she was like, oh, okay. She continued her workout, went to go retrieve her child, and she's thinking that, you know, they didn't call me to come now, so she probably cool, and she couldn't have fallen too far or too hard because the child is 10 months old and unable to walk. So, you know, she probably fell on the floor, you know, wasn't no big thing. She came to pick her baby up from the daycare, come to find out, this baby got blood all over her shirt, dried up blood near her mouth, maybe around her mouth. I'm not sure of all the details. So my cousin began to get upset, and my cousin started questioning them. Where did she fall? What chair? Come to find out, they done put this 10-month-old baby in a toddler recliner. You know, a toddler. Toddler is 2 and up. Children that can walk and get in and out of a chair. You put this child in this chair and left her unattended, where she fell out of the chair and busted her gums up. Now, I told my cousin, this is the cousin with the white husband that I be talking about, my cousin with her white husband that just bought her a house. You know, I hate to be pulling a race card, but I would be in a lawyer office like, these motherfuckers push my baby down. Bitch, I told my cousin, you need 50 grand. What the fuck type of shit is going on at Mountainside Fitness? This 10-month-old baby is bleeding from the mouth, blood on her clothes, and y'all intentionally did not tell me how severe this fall was because y'all wanted to calm her down, before I got in there. So she was deceived, and in addition, management was supposed to be calling her and hadn't called her. She took to Instagram. My cousin, she a bad chick, but she ain't got a lot of followers. She ain't viral. The situation didn't go viral. But somebody found out about it because they eventually called her trying to give her a fucking free year membership. I told my cousin, girl, you should be offended. Stop being afraid to sue. And I'm surprised because my cousin got a white husband. White people sue for everything. They be like, this motherfucker fucked up my toenail, bitch. I need a whole $500,000. And California is the sue state. They sue for anything. I was in small claims court. It was motherfuckers in there getting sued left and right for dumb shit and winning. So I just feel like you shouldn't be afraid to take the time to go and do research and sue. I'm pretty sure my cousin's gonna do something about that because her child was injured. And when you're a mother and someone hurts your child, like as a mother, your number one job is to protect your children. And so when your child gets hurt, it's always upsetting. So if anybody is in Arizona or one of these 16 locations, tell Mountainside Fitness that they wrong as fuck. They need to get that girl her 50 grand so she can move on with her life. She might want to have another baby after this. You never know. And I'm going to tell you right now, if that was my baby, every fucked up thing my baby ever did in life, I'd be like, that's because of that time you fell in that goddamn daycare in Mountainside. Right. My God, my baby could be 18 years old and got pregnant. Bitch, that's because she fell at Mountainside back in 2019. That's why she pregnant. Not the fact that this bitch was out here fucking raw, but it was Mountainside who got my goddamn daughter knocked up. I would be blaming every goddamn thing. Every D she got on every test, I'd be like, you know what, because she would have aced this test if it wasn't for Mountainside. Mountainside Fitness is the reason why she's failing. I'm talking about I would blame everything on Mountainside, God damn it. Everything. Every dumb decision, everything that she ever did, every little, how kids have little fuck up little farts. So I'd be like, her coordination is fucked off when she fell off that goddamn chair at Mountainside. Funky, if you listening, you better go get that goddamn 50 grand, bitch. Talking about they gonna give her a year's free membership. Shut the fuck up. Don't nobody want no goddamn year free membership. Y'all clearly don't screen y'all child care workers. So why should I have this? How dumb can a bitch be to put a 10-month-old child that can't even stand up by herself in a fucking toddler recliner, in a kid's recliner? Like, come on. Like, these motherfuckers is hiring anybody. I was talking to my son about the fact that right now in a lot of cities, they have more jobs than they have people. And I believe it's because all the black women that's running their own businesses. Black women, we bosses right now. They got so many independent black women who getting their own businesses, from everything from catering companies to selling hair products and boutiques. Like, black women, we bossed up. We ain't working for these motherfuckers no more. We like, fuck a job. Black women is bossed up, and the other half that ain't bossed up, they getting pregnant by NBA players and shit, so they don't gotta work. So I know it's plenty of goddamn jobs out there that most black women will have, but we don't want that shit because we doing our own shit now. So, I think that right now is the time that it's difficult to find good help. It's hard to find good help because competent people who are smart and, they have the know-how to, run a daycare or help you run a business or that, they're smart enough to work for themselves, Right now, I got a lot of different things that I'm doing in life to make money, and I work for myself, obviously. I'm a stand-up comedian, but one thing that I will say is that I use skills and running my own business that I learned at other jobs. Every job that I ever had, from working at McDonald's, I used to sell Pitney Bowes mail meters. I had a daycare before. Every job that I had, worked in daycare, worked in childcare. I always use that in my own business. So I just want to say to people who have been wronged, don't be afraid to take the time to sue, because people who do wrong bank on the fact that they're not going to get sued. People who run their mouth about shit. People who do things to hurt you. People who cause you to lose money. People who cause you to be embarrassed. They never think about their actions, and they bank on you not doing shit. That's why they do the shit. But start suing a motherfucker for defaming your character. Start suing a motherfucker for letting your baby fall out of a fucking chair at a daycare center. Stop suing. I heard of a case of a woman suing a grocery store because they would not let her use the bathroom. What? They did not let her use the bathroom. She urinated on herself, created public embarrassment for her. She sued them and won. She sued them and won. If a motherfucker ever make you lose money or hurt you or your children or child or mother, you know, they got a lot of elderly abuse. People that, you know, they don't never sue. They banking on you not to sue. Start suing these motherfuckers and making them put their money where they goddamn toddler chair is, goddamn it. Sue. They got a book called Small Claims Court for Dummies. All the time that you spend surfing social media and, you know, stalking bitches' pages and doing that shit, look at the book. Read into the book. Not that my cousin do any of this shit, though. But look into the book. Start looking into the legalities of what if you have grounds and how to win a case in your state. Research it. Sue. Get that money, especially when you're talking about corporations and people who have money and insurance in case they get sued. Because the majority of those people won't even fight you. It's cheaper and easier and less embarrassing for them to say, here, bitch, here, take this 50 grand. This don't mean shit to us. Take this 50 grand, you know? So that's my whole bit about that. Now, I want to jump back into police brutality, because I have another issue that's heavy on my heart and my mind. As we celebrate the wins that we have in court with Amber being fired, arrested, and charged, and convicted of murder. We're looking for a stiff sentence for her. Police brutality is still heavy in the world, in the community. Recently, my best friend called me. My best friend in St. Louis. She's a hairstylist. Her name is Tina. We've been friends since 7th grade. And my oldest and dearest friend contacted me, and she told me about an issue that she had with her son. Her son, Stephen Joseph, is the same age as my son. Tina and I were pregnant at the same time. My son is 24. I think her son just recently may have turned 25. He's known as Lil Steve. Lil Steve, he's about 5'3", 5'4", about 120 pounds. That's why he got the nickname Lil Steve. He a little dude. He keep a job. He got a great personality. But Steve is always got some shit going on with his car where he ain't got his plates right, and he get a ticket and don't pay the ticket, and he'll have a warrant, traffic warrants, and so he may get locked up for having a traffic warrant, and then when he get bonded out, he may not go back to court. That's the hustle in St. Louis County. St. Louis City and St. Louis County. St. Louis County is made up of several subdivisions, and each subdivision jurisdiction has their own court. These are typically small courts, and they make their money in these municipalities by fucking with black people. running their plates and arresting them for not having the right tags on their car. In St. Louis, they have taken off of their business cards and police cars the motto that most police officers have been going by to protect and serve. They took this off. Why? Because they know that they ain't protecting and they ain't serving. All the fuck they doing is harassing. My friend had been trying to call me. I had a busy weekend. We've been missing each other, and she was able to track me down. And she sat me down telling me that she had something to tell me. She proceeds to tell me a horrific story about how Breckenridge Hills Police Department, and this is a subdivision in St. Louis County, a small municipality in St. Louis County, basically almost killed her son. Her son contacted her, informing her that he was in jail and that he was injured. Come to find out, Steve had been pulled over for some traffic warrants. The police ran his name. The police asked him some questions, told him that, asked him did he have warrants. And Steve made a bad decision. Let's not make light of the fact that he made a bad decision. Steve ran. He was scared of the police, as he should be. And he ran for whatever reason. Instead of police doing what they went to training to learn to do. Police go through extensive training. They don't go through the proper social training. I feel like the police need to be better socially screened. But police officers who are in the field, they have to meet certain requirements as far as being physically fit, being able to run and catch someone who is fleeing, knowing when it is necessary to use excessive force, stun gun versus dog. The fat ass police officer from this subdivision, Woodson Terrace, Breckenridge Hills, one of the motherfuckers, decided that he didn't want to run to chase little Steve. So he sicked the dog on him. Police dogs are typically used when you're looking for someone who's wanted for a high crime. Looking for someone who has a weapon or is a threat or has drugs, a gun. These police officers mauled this 25-year-old, 5'3", 120-pound young man nearly to death. The police officers laughed and joked, congratulated the dog, gave him treats. They got an ambulance for little Steve, took him to DePaul Hospital where he received very minimal care and was released. I'm talking about not even stabilizing him. He was released. He was arrested. His family began to call and question and find out where he was he being held for, what are his charges. They weren't told any information. They wouldn't let them see him. They waited for the visiting hours. Once visiting hours were over, they said, well, you've been waiting, so we let you see him. And he was seen by his aunt and his father, who could see that he was visibly bleeding. They still didn't release him until after his family left. Once his family left, he was released into the streets with no shoes and no shirt. This is police brutality. Steve was being taken to receive additional medical care by his family, where he went to an urgent care facility, and his injuries were so serious that they could not handle them, so they sent him to a local hospital. Once little Steve got into the local hospital, he was treated, and they ended up keeping him This man is 24 years old. 5'3" tall, 24 years old, and this man is being mauled by dogs over a traffic ticket. This makes no sense. We're about to take a quick break, work out our technical difficulties. We'll be right back. You're listening to Carmen Barton. Can You Hear Me Now? Marcus King presents Dash Comedy. Police brutality. Court wins. We still losing in the end. We'll be right back.
I think my patience is getting low, because I hate when you leave me alone. I think my neighbors be seeing me smoke. Who knows? I think my riders they keeping me close. I think my mama want me just to go, but she said I will always have a home. Who knows? I know I'm bound to take a bullet for my mama, for my money. Ain't no coward, now you shookin'. Went to find another rookie. I'm so proud of us, we took it to the bank. Came out chuckling, I'm so late, that's why she fussin'. I'm no bait, why is you cuffin'? I seen her look straight from afar.
Check.
I had to say, bitch, you lame and you bum. If you don't pay me shit, leave it alone. Get gone, get gone. I think my riders they keeping me close. I think my mama want me just to go, but she said I will always have a home. Who knows? I think my riders they keeping me close. I think my mama want me just to go, but she said I will always have a home. Who knows?
Yeah. Fuck with the man, you know I'm bombing like I'm from Japan. Evil, I promise I won't shake your hand. If I think you would cop, I go chop off your head. Yo, bitch keep smiling and touching my dread. She feed me power, I'm plugging her legs. Leaving me sour, I won't plug a thing, cause my partner's bound to go fuck up his whip. Yeah, free the old lady, then I dip. Yeah, pour up some drink, then I sip. Yeah, smoking some bacon and a bib. Yeah, why you complaining, you simp? Yeah, where did she came to our whip and she pay me a grip, you would think I'm a pimp. Yeah, where did we taking this shit that gon' make you repeat, you would think I was sent. Straight from heaven, I'ma have reports, cause half you niggas is really ass and shorts, and half you niggas shouldn't have a course, cause your tracking different, you finna crash the course. Half the business HD, know you gon' hate me, cause I won't settle for fake beef. Don't let that way, bitch, I'm straight peasy when I make scenes hard, because no one can play me.
It's hard for you niggas. It's real hard. But for me, it really ain't that hard. Trying to make it hard.
Big bank, set aside, never say, tell his mom, get a rate, take a job, you can't hang, take a job. All my life I fought for this, so you gon' have to make me die. All my life I fought for this, so you gon' have to wait. That's like woo, I would never hang with a puss like you. I don't have to fake cause the fan might prove. I can see the fake with a clear eye view. Somebody say I'm never gon' make it, so I put pain in what I produce. Fuck up my name, is Cameron the same, a nigga who made it, bustin' my moves. Peso.
I'm talking about what happened to Miss Steve on this radio show, trying to get some attention for it. What jurisdiction was it in? So what's how many warrants is it? How many warrants is it?
Hoes called, said they want me back. I told them I ain't shit, but they okay with that. Bro called and said he got the pack, so I'ma smoke it all until my lungs be black. Protocol is to get the bag, so I'ma run with that until my legs collapse. Broken hearts, I felt I love detached because she wanted more, but I'm okay with that.
So it was Woodson Terrace, right?
I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that. Loading up the gun just to see if it'll work. I'm confused, cause you had said it never would change, even if I got the fame or the views. But now you're telling me that you think that it's way too much for you to lose. I thought we had agreed that I'm free and I wouldn't give a fuck. Now you tryna hide. Please just come outside. No, I'm down to ride. Hope your homie slide. Back against the wall, I had to beat it with my pride. Back against the wall, I fuck me, but still I'm nice. Right. Hoes call and said they wanna check. I told them suck my balls, they said they waiting for that. Bros called and wanna know where I'm at. I told them get some jobs to go run up a check. Beating the odds took it easy, yes, cause I believe in God and really think I'm blessed. Eating them raw cause I'm a beast depressed. I turn my ringer off cause I don't need the stress. Hoes called and said they want me back. I told them I ain't shit, but they okay with that. Bro called and said he got the pack, so I'ma smoke it all until my lungs be black. Protocol is to get the bag, so I'ma run with that until my legs collapse.
Now, welcome back to Carmen Barton. Can you hear me now? Coming to you live from Inglewood, California. We apologize for those technical difficulties we had earlier. We working some kinks out. I told them I wanted a wireless mic, and I'm just moving around, forgetting I got a wireless mic on, acting a fool. So I apologize. Maybe it was for the best. I was beginning to ramble, and I never want to ramble. These situations are sensitive and they are very important to me. I'm passionate about these things. Just to briefly go over, my best friend, one of my best friends in life, her son was a victim of police brutality week before last. I apologize. He's currently recovering from severe dog bites where Woodson Terrace Police Department sick dogs on him. And listen, over some traffic warrants. That's my thing. You a dope dealer, you got a history of shooting people, carrying guns, having dope on you, distributing drugs, and you want the dog to sniff out some drugs, or somebody on the run from just recently shooting people, you release the dogs. But we talking about a young man who's 25 years old, 5'4", maybe probably around 5'3.5", 125 pounds, and you're on chase over some traffic warrants. You chase him. The police officer said, I ain't about to be chasing him. I'm fat. Y'all go through training. This is part of your job. Dogs damn near killed this boy. This don't make no sense. This police brutality is just out of control. And what I've urged my friend to do, and what I've urged people to do, we're talking about my cousin earlier, dealing with her issue with her daughter being injured by some neglectful child care workers at Mountainside Fitness in Phoenix, Arizona. Of course, this happened in Woodson Terrace. And listen, I was born and raised in St. Louis. Ferguson, Missouri. You got Ferguson. You got Breckenridge Hills, Woodson Terrace, St. Anne. They all racist. They all racist police officers, racist jurisdiction, where the average black person don't even want to ride through these cities because all they do is fuck with people and harass them. Now this man can't even barely walk because y'all done stick some dogs on him about some fucking traffic tickets. Let the punishment fit the crime. They got these men, Dylan Roof and all these masked murderers who shoot up schools and kill dozens of people have been murdered by these white boys who walk away untouched. But you sicking dogs on this boy about a traffic warrant? Get out of here. It's just ridiculous. And it's frustrating for me to see as a parent. It's too close to home. St. Louis is bad. When you look at, they had these lists, top city for crime. And you see these cities that like Detroit and like St. Louis. St. Louis was number one. I remember having it in my comedy routine. We number one, y'all. Yeah, St. Louis number one. And the crowd to be cheering, and I used to be like, for murders, and that shit ain't funny. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing funny about that. I think that might have been something that Javon Bibb said when he was on stage as a comedian. But it's really terrible. And I live in Inglewood, California. I live off Crenshaw. I used to live in the jungle. For those of y'all who are not familiar with the jungle in LA, it's dead end street off Martin Luther King and Crenshaw, made popular by Denzel Washington in Training Day. That's where his baby mama lived, up in the jungles where they was flipping birds, where they was letting the police know they there. I lived over there for 8 years, and I haven't seen the things in Los Angeles, living off Crenshaw and Inglewood, living in the jungle, that I've seen in Ferguson and Breckenridge Hills and St. Anne. It's not a lot of murders in Ferguson, but police is constantly fucking with people, and it needs to stop. That's why I'm excited about the 31-year-old Dallas police officer Amber Geiger, who was recently charged with murder, because these people need to be accountable. And I'm glad that my friend is fighting for her child. She's fighting for justice, and trying to get something done about this massive police brutality. She got people looking into it, and people speaking to the officers about what happened, the incident. They laughing. They think it's funny. It's fun to them to watch these dogs bite holes in this child's body. It just don't make no sense. And I say child, he's 25 years old, around the same age as my son. And it's just a shame, what you have to go through as a parent. That's why I constantly try to encourage my son to do what's right. I constantly try to encourage my sons to stay out the police way, and my daughter. My daughter is a chick that be out here. My daughter done have more run-ins with the police than my son. She's so defiant, and I think my children have a natural hate and fear of the police. I don't know. I done took Cameron microphone. Maybe you can tell us, Cameron, are you scared of the police?
Wait. Yeah, there we go. Okay.
Oh my God. I had turned his mic off because he said something about Elvis earlier.
No, I mean, not in that type of way.
You should be, because these police will kill your ass. I'm glad you ain't in St. Louis. I think that it's a little bit worse in St. Louis. I got money now, so the police don't fuck with me. I got pulled over in Culver City one time a couple of years ago. I probably was the nicest police officer that I've ever met. And he was just so damn nice. I was a little nervous, you know, and I got a smart mouth, you know, so I be snapping at police and shit like, why'd you fuck with me? But this particular officer, I knew that I was guilty. I ran a stop sign and did something, you know, committed a traffic violation. So, you know, I wasn't really as snappy with him, but I was nervous, you know. And he could sense my nervousness, and, you know, I was... And he talked to me and told me to chill and relax, and you know, I'm a good cop. You know, you're not gonna get hurt. I just got some questions. I just want you to be safe. I'm just, you know, monitoring this intersection because we had an accident here, 2 accidents, one last week, one the week before last, and so they got me monitoring this area. I just want to talk to you about whatever move you made. He was cool, you know. It is some good cops out there. It's just that most of them ain't shit. It's just that the majority of them are people are men, white boys who got bullied in school, who ain't shit, who are cowards, who go into the police force. Excuse me. They go into the police force and they use their gun and badge as leverage to harass people. That's what they do. And it needs to stop. You know, some people say if you can't beat them, join them. You know, some people say we need more black police officers. This little jacket is everything I got on today, y'all. That's off the subject, but I want y'all to if you watching this on one of the YouTube channels, I'm about to have these jackets online soon. These sell like hotcakes. My jackets and my black girl magic dresses, and a lot of my jackets and dresses say "Can't Steal My Joy" as well. That's just a little side note, a little plug. But they say if you can't beat them, join them. Have you ever thought about joining the police force, Cameron?
No, never, ever.
You would never be a pig.
No, never. Yeah, I can't do that. Cause they try to make you, once you, even if you black, they try to make, like you said, it's a cult. So they try to make you be one of them and say, oh no, you're not for your people, you for the police. And so I couldn't do that.
Yeah, I remember specifically reading about New York police officers who, you know, were basically bullied into bullying people. You know, they wanted, because they want you to, if you, one, bad cops, they want all the cops to be bad. They don't want one bad cop. They don't want one good cop sitting looking at all the bad cops do bad work. That's, you know, you a mole. You in a way. You know, they don't want that. You know what I'm saying? Just like, you know, you go to a lot of these Hollywood parties and motherfuckers is, you know, snorting coke and doing drugs, and, you know, I never really fit in those type of parties because I don't do drugs, you know. So people often, and a lot of people, they get into drugs because they want to fit in with these parties and they want to fit in with this scene. So, you know, they'll do drugs so they can fit in, and then they end up getting hooked because they feel like, why you at this party watching everybody get high and you ain't getting high? And so, you know, it's the same thing with police officers. Why you out here got us killing niggas and you out here protecting and serving? How dare you? How dare you be out here protecting and serving the people, and we out here robbing them for they dope, beating them. You know, they got some dirty ass police officers out here, and it's sad for the good ones. They got this one police officer, I can't think of his name, but he ended up retiring and being some type of mentor. But he's so well connected with his community, and he would do all these videos playing with all the little kids in his community, and I gotta find his name. But you get good cops like that who's into the community, and this motherfucker done retired. Now he a damn Instagram star. Shit. You know, not knocking him for getting off the street, but it's like, what's going on here? We need these skills. A lot of the skills that are really needed to be a police officer aren't being used. You know, you need to be able to make quick decisions. You need to be able to get to know your community. I feel like police officers should be members of the community that know their community. You know, that way you know the disabled man who lived down the street who be off wandering. He ain't really gonna hurt nobody. You know him from the crackhead who is gonna hurt somebody because he gonna rob and kill to get dope. You know the difference. You know, you know which one that you want to get rough and tough with. You know the teenage runaway. You know, you gonna that was me. I was it's this Carmen out here again, bitch. Get your ass in the back of the car and take your ass home, bitch. You know you ain't supposed to be out here like this. You know they know, but they don't bother to learn the communities, and you know they don't have a respect for their job or the people in the community. So all they do is use their power to hurt.
Now, if it comes to playing a police, I can play a police officer in a film or something. I can do that.
Shut your ass up. We ain't talking about acting.
Well, we're in the real one, you know. No.
I think Chicago probably has the most diverse officer. City of Chicago.
Really?
Oh man, you see a little Asian man police officer, a little Mexican lady police officer. Men, women, a lot of women on the police force. And that's a good thing. Yeah, we want. You know, we be fighting for equal rights out here and all of that. But you know, you got to think about it because women are emotional. You know, you wouldn't want to cross the right bitch on her period. Now you in jail because this bitch is PMSing. You know, I'm on the goddamn ground, face flat, because this nigga is cheating on her, and I'm paying for this shit. You know what I'm saying? You know, so they gotta. You know, you got to be able to properly assess. You know, you on your rag now. I got to go to jail over some bullshit because you getting cheated on and on your period, and the DNA test came back wrong. So it is what it is. We have to get out of here. We had an amazing show today. Yep. Quick recap. We started off, I was talking about how I'm going to be in Cancun next week, the 10th through... What, Cameron? The 10th through the 14th, Steve Harvey Sand and Soul Festival, where I will be performing on Saturday the 13th. I'm gonna be there at all the parties, though. You know, I was supposed to lose a lot of weight so I could be a bad bitch out there, but I'm not finna be competing with them young bitches out there in Cancun. Y'all can have this shit. But I will be kicking. They can have that shit this weekend. I can't even do it. My arms look like I make potato salad for a living. I got them big potato salad making arms. And you know, but I will be out there. I will be performing. I'm about to call the little girl to do my braids and get my braids done so I can have me some cute little box braids. And I'm about to be lit. So if you're gonna be in Cancun, look me up. They got the Tears of a Clown. I don't know what the name of the comedy show is. I don't know why I said Tears. They got a comedy show on the 13th. Me, Ornez J, Tony Roberts, another comedian. So I definitely want you to have your face in the place if you come to Cancun, the Moon Palace Resort, all inclusive. Turn up. Mm-hmm. I will be drunk every night, acting a damn fool. Turn up. We fast forwarded to our subject of today, which was court wins. I'm going through my own legal battles, which is what inspired this. I've always been very passionate about learning about the legal system. I'm fascinated with the legal system and how unjust it is and corrupt it is. And so with my fascination, I've turned it into educating myself, and I've been educating myself. I've made many mistakes in my life, one of which was getting my baby daddies involved in the whole court system with the child support. That's one of my biggest regrets. I apologize to them niggas every week. I'm sorry I took y'all through that shit. Every week I'd be like, my bad, shit. I took them niggas off years ago. They still don't like me, but fuck them. No, me and my baby daddies is cool. You talk to your daddy, Cameron?
Not recently.
I'm gonna have to call his app. Nigga, I didn't tell you Javon told me he seen your daddy and Kaylin daddy at the gym in St. Vincent's together.
Playing basketball, yeah.
Playing basketball, slapping fives and shit like y'all was cool. Probably like, I heard that bitch got engaged. So if you listening, baby daddies, hey, we cool now. You know, my kids is grown. We cool now. But it is what it is. You know, mothers, think twice about trying to drag your baby daddies in court because you ain't gonna win shit. You can't make these niggas pay. Right. Don't damage the relationship with the child because you being greedy and you bitter. You mad because he fucking a bad bitch now. Look, you fucked up. You never lost that weight from that baby. Don't be mad at that nigga. Shit. Anyway, I'm happy about the win that we got. The conviction that we were able to get with Amber. She's a 31-year-old white female police officer, Amber Gardner, that murdered an unarmed black man, went into his apartment, shot him to death, talking about she thought that was somebody. How the fuck you didn't know that was your apartment, bitch? Like, what is wrong with that bitch? Yeah. I'm surprised they didn't go the mental route, because that's what they did with the last bitch. It was a bitch running around in California with just racist rants. I hate all you niggers. I would kill you if it was a law. Did you hear about that bitch?
Wow, no.
Yeah, she was going making rants, and she was in the CVS screaming, I hate all you niggers. I wish I could kill y'all. Yeah. So they did a story on her. Come to find out, this bitch do this shit all the time, and she was always harassing her neighbors. Her neighbors was Mexican. She was a white lady, of course. Her neighbors were Mexican. She's always harassing them, yelling racial slurs at them. They had to get a surveillance camera. They got this bitch on tape acting a fool. So they talking about she mentally disturbed. Get the fuck out of here. Man. Get the fuck out of here. If a black man was doing the same shit, he would be up under the goddamn jail.
That's crazy, man.
Shit, I'm mentally disturbed too. This don't make no damn sense. You know, it's just little shit like that bothers me. Like, they want to pull the mentally disturbed card when they doing they shit. Listen, this country was built on racism. We have a racist president. We have so many racist people who showed their true colors, because a lot of people did vote for him. Now, he lost the election. They pulled some low underhanded shit, gave him the presidency, but he's a known racist and sexist. And the majority of the people in this country are just like him. The majority of them are. So I know I done lost some listeners today. I don't give a fuck. I will continue to speak openly about social injustices, racial injustices, police brutality, because I have a platform and I choose to use my platform to speak against it. I would like for us to come to a time where we can come together. I would like for us to come to a place where police are respecting other people's lives and as human beings. I would like for people to respect each other more in general. I don't want to be in court. I don't want to go through this, but this is all about people feeling like they can do whatever they want to do, not thinking about the consequences of their actions, and not having consequences for their actions. So I hope you wake up today, say something kind, do something kind, be kind, love one another, have sex. I'm so glad I'm about to be done fornicating. I'm about to have God approving this freakiness I'm about to be doing. It's about to be amazing. Woo! Next week we will be back. You've been listening to Carmen Barton, Can You Hear Me Now, on Marcus King Presents Dash Comedy. I didn't have many jokes. This is more of a serious show. I try to add the comedy in, but I'm always listening out for ways to speak up against what I believe in. Speak up for what I believe in and against police brutality that we talked about this week. Did we have a court win? We'll see once she gets sentenced. In the meantime, check us out right here every Wednesday from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. Carmen Barton, Can You Hear Me Now?
You know damn well that she got a man here for good, but you still trying to fuck my mama, bitch, you better run. Look, my mama been with me since I was a fetus. Just me and her, we broke, so who the fuck was gonna feed us? Man, Jesus, man, what we go do, we really need you. While I was up in school, she was scheming on the teachers. tryna finesse them for their Jews. We knew cash rules, but we had to laugh at them too. She knew how to get them checks and put them checks up on my shoes. I know we were truly blessed, cause this bitch made me a true fool. I know my mama crazy, I know she floss a lot. She never say it, but I know she need that parking spot to be filled by someone I know who truly loves her. You a buster, so I know you probably don't know what that is. And you better keep your hands to yourself. Asking me for a question, you asking to just be dealt with. Fam, quit bugging, trying to have these little discussions about nothing. Know you fake that to get me off your shit. For real, man. Shout out to all of them. Shout out to bumps, ham, stepdads, you know. Thinking they finna come and run shit. Y'all run shit. Y'all ain't come and run shit. You know what I'm saying? It's all about us. It's all about the kids, you know what I'm saying? We been running this shit, you been a family. If you ain't trying to add to that shit, then you need to do the right thing. You don't gotta hurt. I knew my mama was a hustler and soon she would see that little hustler part of her would be a part of me. No cutting corners, smarting up when they got my degree. She might have fussed when I fucked up, but she sure got them fees. Said stay on track, don't worry about paying that. Just focused on being great. Your paperwork gon' be fat, and that's facts. When I'm on, I said I promise you'll be racked up.